Kahala, Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushua, Ba'ashem, Rakah, Kodash. That one of the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. And peace, salutation to Aki. I'm doing this work in truth and sincerity in the four corners of the earth. All right. We're going to do this lesson. Okay. Going into these police shootings. All right. That are taking place in Minneapolis. All right. And now in Portland, you know, and this is just all a part of prophecy, all a part of that division, all right, taking place in the planet Earth, mainly being here in Babylon, all right, because even this situation, is a confusing, all right, and it's a very divisive situation, man, all right, because I watched conservative, Edomites, who usually wouldn't give a shit, when the police gunned down to Jake, which we know that sometimes in part, those Jakes are so-called so-called innocent, you know, and the Edomite centurion, or even if it's a Jake, they are abusive as all hell, and just straight up psychos, man, you know, Babylonian centurion, and so now, Esau has this other Gestapo force out there, which are these ICE officers, and they pretty much can operate with reckless abandon, and they have federal privileges, you know, so they can operate in any state, in America, and they pretty much absolved of all crimes and wrongdoing, you know, and they're not receiving, that same centurion training, because they pretty much fast tracking all these ICE enforcers and shit. And let me tell you something, man. Let me tell you something. All right, these Edomites that are on these ICE task force, all right, and these coon ass niggas that you see, and these coon ass Latinos that you see doing this shit. They doing this shit for the thrill of the game, man. The thrill of the not the thrill of the thrill of the hunt. You know, they doing it for the thrill of the hunt. All right, and being a centurion, all right, and being say a police officer or agent or some shit like that, as a man, that shit gets you riled up. You know, that's the type of shit that a man, a man would want to do. Be a in the military. Not saying that it's a joyous thing, but that adrenaline gonna get pumping. Your testosterone gonna be fucking high. You know, and then you got them plastering, join ICE, join this. They showing all the benefits and shit, you know. So if you a piece of shit Edomite, you've been kicked out of this department, all this and that, you an abusive motherfucker, why the hell wouldn't you join ICE? And then you get to beat Jake ass upside the head all day. That's your damn job. Snatch Jake up, you know. Mainly, Northern Kingdom. You get to snatch Northern Kingdom up all day and night, you know. And you ain't doing no fucking intense labor. You ain't got no wrench in your hand, you know. You ain't fucking cleaning toilets. So why the hell not? So why the hell not go get paid, $80,000, and receive a damn? I think it was like, I don't know, that shit was damn near like 50K. Receive a 25K or 50K bonus, to ride around and act a damn fool, And you can see the way that this ICE thing is being manipulated, man. That these ICE agents are gonna be used for just more than for immigrants and migrants, man. All right, it's a reason why Donald T. All right, and his administration is throwing money at that shit, man. You know, because these are people that identify with Donald T. These are people that identify with Edomite supremacy. You know, so they like fuck all that shit. Whatever he tell us to do, that's what the hell we gonna do. You know, and then you got the Edomites on the right. They agree with ICE. They agree with the Gestapo. But if it was anything else, or if it was ran by the so-called left and the Democrats, they would call it out for, oh, this is Gestapo, this is this is martial law, but since it's Esau doing it, which is always Esau doing it, but since it's the so-called right, doing it, then it's acceptable in their eyes, man. All right. And now you're seeing a lot of Edomites are shocked because, oh, now a Edomite woman is shot and killed, shot dead, on camera. All right, that make it, and she was a goddamn a lesbo, man. She playing for the whole other team. But hey, at the end of the day, that's a Edomite woman. All right, so Esau's gonna get sentimental about that shit. All right, usually they play it to where it's usually a Jake, mainly a Judite, like a George Floyd, that pleads to the to the masses, man. All right, but things are still gonna get turned up, even with it being a Edomite, because like I said, you even got conservative Edomites, speaking on it now. All right, they said like one of the dudes, Stu Peters, he like, we can't. Hey, we wanted you to take the spics out, the this and that. We don't want you taking out Edomite women, you know. So hey, it's gonna get even worse, you know. And they ain't really been fucking with Judah like that, But if they was to start to mess with Judah, Judah be tearing these cities up and shit, you know. But ICE is walking right past Judah. ICE ain't really even fucking with Judah like that, unless they might think that he's Levi or he's Benjamin, if he speak with a accent, you know. For the most part, they they running straight through niggas to go get Northern Kingdom, man. You know, and Northern Kingdom is in fear. They're in fear. They the some Northern Kingdom don't even come outside, man. You know, even the ones with papers ain't coming outside. All right, because what do Esau do? He do a big ass sweep, and just take everybody. Take you out the country, kidnap your ass, and you actually is a green card resident, or you do have citizenship. You know, and that's just using gradualism, all right, to get the people accustomed to that. Oh, well, what's the color got snatched up last week? Damn, for real? Where they at? Oh, I don't know. I'm gonna get online and look and track them. They got a tracking number. When really you should, if your family member's kidnapped, you go to the end of the earth to get them back. You know. But this Second Ezra chapter 15 and verse 16. For there shall be sedition among men, and invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their actions shall stand in their power. And that's what you're going to see. The more this government, flexes on the people, tries to control the people, destabilize the people, you know, taking more of the people's goods, because or the benefits, not the goods and their benefits. Now Esau is starting to roll out, all these welfare programs being shut down. The Section 8 being walled off to 2 years. You know, the food stamp program being completely limited to where you got to work a certain amount of hours. And who can qualify and who can't. A lot of you Jakes, man, you about to find out, in this year, especially going into, if we still here going into next year, your ass is about to find out, man. All right. This government don't give a damn about you. Esau don't give a fuck about you. All right. And you women, you about to have it bad out here. Your ass gonna get replaced with AI. All right, for all them bullshit jobs you do that can be replaced. That you sitting on fucking Instagram and Facebook. All right, you ain't You ain't sent out no emails or made no phone calls. They have an AI system in place for you. And then when you go to the Section 8 office, they gonna cut your ass off. When you go to the food stamp office, they gonna limit you. You know, and then you're gonna go out looking for a man, but ain't no man gonna want that. All right, the man is about to, like the scriptures say, man of the Lord is gonna be like the gold of Ophir. You know, men gonna be gold in them days, man, and they're not gonna be picking you hair headed, all right, weave wearing, butterfly eyelashes, tatted up bimbos, man. Okay, your options are gonna be extremely limited in that day. All right, and then the men that get cut off from all these things, what do you think they're gonna do? All right, they're gonna turn to violence, man. All right, the man that was once rational is no longer gonna be rational. He's gonna be irrational. All right, so you're gonna see the worst in these people, man. All right, your neighbor, yes, your neighbor, your family member, yes. Isn't that what Yahweh Shah said when he was gonna bring division into the earth? All right, the father against the mother, the brother against the sister. All right, and we already seeing that now. Matthew chapter 12 and verse 26. And if Satan cast out Satan, he is divided against himself. How shall then his kingdom stand? So if Satan is cast out Satan, he is divided against himself. How shall then his kingdom stand? This has been ongoing, man. This has been ongoing in America. You got that left and right dynamic. You got the gay and straight dynamic. You know, you got the rich and the poor. Okay, and these are on these are we still talking about Esau. We talking about Satan. They are divided amongst these issues. You got some Edomites that say deport all of the illegal immigrants. Then you say some Edomites that say, well, don't deport them all, just deport the criminals. Which most Babylonians agree with, most so-called Americans agree with. Oh, take them gang banging niggas and the ones that don't got no job, but Hector that do my yard, don't take him. Maria that cook and clean for me, don't take her. You know, and they willing to fight for it. They willing to die about they servants. All right, because nowadays, to be called a slave or say you have slaves, that would be you would get canceled. But that's really what Northern Kingdom is here, and what we all are here, man. Okay, if you a Judite and you fucking punch a clock every goddamn day, you a slave, nigga. Okay, you a goddamn slave and a servant. All right, you can't go on that job and do whatever the fuck you want to do. You can't pick your lunchtime. You can't even wear what you want to wear. Esau say, nigga, you need to wear this when you up here. So don't give me that fucking shit, man. All right, all 12 tribes that are here in Babylon are in captivity, man. I don't give a damn what the hell you do for a living. Okay, because you can't have as many women as you want. All right, you can't own land without paying taxes. You know, you can't have servants. All right. And at any moment, Esau can put fake charges on you, get your ass for tax evasion. All right, all kind of bullshit, man. Or you could like Jake be trying to build them Israelite communities and all that shit. You can have a whole spy in that camp, man. You can have a whole FBI fucking spy. You know, this nigga got a damn master's degree in all kind of shit. So he an intellectual Negro. He just getting the knowledge, but he not really getting the understanding, because he's an intellectual. But he can sneak in your camp and tear up everything, man. Just like in that movie Judas and the Black Messiah. And that's why the Most High made this thing. This ain't no movement. This is our heritage. Okay, this is our nationality. All right, the law, statutes, and commandments were given to Israel. All right, and Israel is the Most High's chosen people. So this ain't no fucking Black Panther Party or none of that bullshit, man. Okay, Esau can't infiltrate this, and ain't no like no Malcolm X and no shit like that to be martyred, and then a whole movement die. Hell no, you know, because if you cut off one head in this truth, guess what? 10 more gonna grow. You know, you martyr one brother in this truth, a whole bunch of more brothers are gonna come into this thing, man. You know, because they're gonna say, okay, this is for real. You know, and Esau knows that that we are his opposition. You know, not in a physical manner, but in a spiritual manner, man. All right. The more prophets that Esau see on the highways and byways, man, he know that his time is being more and more limited, man. Okay. But that's all I had. You know, I pray that this lesson is edifying and shalom.